Hello, this is a new stream for today, the first month of the last month of the year, the first day of December. Let me copy the link of the stream, send it to Discord. Yeah, you're getting sound. We go to Discord, and here we paste the stream for today. And so far, we're going to review what happened last month with the S&P 500. What is the main news for today? And what is the direction of trades we are going to take in the main indexes? And later on, we'll do the routine, and that will help us find the direction. And I have a little nuance that we're going to start trading a new account so you can follow that. It's for educational purposes, and it will be fun. I'm sure it will be fun. The goal there is to make $1,000 and not lose $1,000, right? So, with that said, let's review the first. Let's review the first news of the days. So I want to double check here. We're there is correct. So we go there, go here. And seeing this works great. The news of the day, which is taking the futures down, it's manufacturing weakens in Europe, Asia. Then we review the key news for the last 24 hours. Manufacturing, this is what we talk. OPEC holds oil output steady. Okay. The third one is US sees progress after talks in Florida with Ukraine. Bank of Japan considers a rate hike in December. Okay, this is market moving events. OPEC again, all fine in oil mantra. Safety first budget revives UK 1974 question. AI helps to sell about 12 billion in Black Friday. Yeah, AI is now everywhere. Restructuring CME, this is 3 days ago. CME reopened exchanges after it suffered a multi-hour disruption. That's all in the main news. Let's see how the markets are right now. Equity indexes, futures. So in the US, we have North America, all the indexes now down. Europe, all the indices negative. The DAX 1.1 down. Asia, it was about flat. So the direction for this is the macro as of now in the equity indexes. It doesn't mean that we are going to trade lower today. It means we're going to open lower, right? Then market internals will help us guide the strength of this weakness. Let's go and do the daily routine. What we do is we open every single link, and to get here is in the description, but it's Rutina. The link is bit.li/m/Rutina, which is routine in Spanish. We open every single link, and first is the economic calendar, major event on at 10. ISM manufacturing index, okay, major event. Then let's see how we have the equity indexes for the last week, right? So we see some strength in most of the indexes, even in this one, that even though last day was bad, it was Nikkei, right? But overall, we finished the month strong. Some of them are negative month, were negative month to date. We'll review that in a bit. So the weekly candle, look at how strong the weekly candle was, right? After 4 weekly candles negative, we had a one positive one. The month ended like this. A perfect T. We tried to push lower. We went to last month low, right? You remember this uh, double level here, right? We did not go to the high of last month, but this makes it positive. 0.13 positive. The S&P finished the month. The S&P 500 composite. Okay. On the year, 16.45. This is at the close of last month. So far, what do we have here? Strength, noting that we have 4 weekly candles in a row and we are inside of last month range. Can we target all-time highs? Oh yes, we can target like this. All-time highs. Can we go lower? Yes, look, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positive days straight in a row. Can we give back a little bit, find resistance and go move lower? Of course. So everything in these charts, the purpose is to understand how we are in the macro picture, if we are really bearish or not. And let me put it here on green because overall, if we have to do a trend line, it has to go like that. Overall, if we have to do a trend line, it has to go like this. Here we have some negative price action, mark the low, and then we're holding this. And in the quarterly candle, it's just positive except this. Are we trending positive? Yes. All of the quarterly, weekly, monthly, and daily prices are pointing higher. What else do we have here? Very different picture than a few weeks ago. Remember a few weeks ago, here so far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positive days. And not long ago, the market was quite weak. And we had here a consolidation of negative days. Volatility increased a little bit. We went to 25, 30, 25 in the front month, but we quickly came back to 18. If we don't see volatility about 2022, I don't think bears have control. We'll see this data in live data in a few minutes. New lows versus new highs. So this is both this now we're talking about the markets, right? There's two markets, New York Stock Exchange and Nasdaq. Sorry, there's two exchanges, right? Nasdaq and New York Stock Exchange. So we take the highs from one minus the highs of the other, new highs minus new lows, and we get this value. So S&P, Nasdaq, sorry, New York Stock Exchange one, two, three, 4, 5, 6 days straight with positive value. Not very strong, but positive. Nasdaq 5 days, right? Not very strong. Remember, this is only 125 contracts, 125 stocks. Sometimes we get to 400. Sometimes in New York Stock Exchange we get to 600, around 600. Not very strong, but positive, right? This is the VIX we mentioned going down. I'm going to add the value of the VIX here, so that way we know of this. Then gold improving. Let me put it in green. Gold now is near 60%, like it was. Crude minus 15, minus 15. S&P 500, what we mentioned, 16, very strong on the year. One more month to go. Infotech do it very good, 23. Emerging markets much better, 27. And look at this, communication took over with a 33% gain year to date as of the close of Friday. Very important because emerging markets were leading for most of the year. Now S&P 500 communication. Consumer staples are back to positive. Consumer discretionary, energy, and materials are in the lower side of this distribution, but positive. Similar picture from the last routine, and let's focus on what had happened last week, right? Last week, we had most of the instruments trade positive for the last 7 days. Here we have NASDAQ. Here we have NVIDIA. That was negative, 1%. And in the last 2 days, about 2%. Highlighting silver with 10%, extraordinary. Gold, NASDAQ, Nikkei, S&P, Apple, Russell 2000, and MSCI World, all over 2.7%, right? Here's a 5. We mentioned it was strong. Last time was about a 4%. It did a little higher. Negative, oil and the dollar. In the last 30 days, and this is where I want to focus, and let me get the red because this is not so strong now. What do we have in red? Bitcoin and NVIDIA, right? We are talking about 19% for Bitcoin, 19% in 30 days for Bitcoin, 12% for NVIDIA in the last 30 days. Oil, 4% in the last 90 days. And look at this here, down, 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 down. So this is what we mentioned. Hey, they want oil down and they're able to do it. So I don't want to fight this. I don't want to fight it. I'm not going to go and fight that. Right? Remember, 25 minutes for the market to open. What else in the last 30 days? Noting Apple very strong, almost a 4%. The yen versus the dollar, 2. And then we get into the metals and Google that has been the stronger of all. And here we have 6% from gold, 16% from silver, and 20%. We're talking about 20%. 20, I'm going to put it here, 20% large here. You see here, 20% from this, baby. 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 20 Google in the last month. Unbelievable. Great return for Google in the last month. This is almost as good as Bitcoin. You can see here in the last 2 years. In the last year, much better than Bitcoin. Much better. Google very strong. Can it continue? Of course. Can it stop? Yes. Remember, this is past history, and past history is not indicative of future returns. It can help if you got into momentum, but let's go to the live charts and let's get the view for the live charts because this is the key. What do we do? Let's go marketing. Okay, this is market internals for last week. And I want to highlight for the last 3 days, we open, you can see, we open and ran, we open and ran, and this was a holiday. We open and ran. So for those 3 days, right? This was Friday, we ran. This was Wednesday, we ran. And Tuesday, we ran. The key is if volume is entering positive in New York Stock Exchange and Nasdaq, it is complicated. It's not impossible. It is complicated for the yes to trade lower. Had happened, yes. Let me focus on this because it's not the holy grail, but maximize and let me show you 5 days. Okay, let me show you more than 5 days, 20 days. Erase all of this. So here, this was the 20th, right? What happened the 20th? Open positive and then sell off. And let me show you the ES on the 20th, okay? Maximize on the 20th. I need to go more. So let me go to the 3 time frames. I think it's easier. On the ES on the 20th, remove 24, 21st. And why don't I have 20th here? So 5 minutes, 20th, 10 days, 30 minutes. This is the 20th. So we open, gap up, remember? And then took the low and all the way down. Selling pressure strong. But we opened higher, much higher. Took this low and then took this low. And that day, market internals, we could see here. Market internals open strong and went 2 days prior to that, open low and went higher. So if we go here, 2 days prior to this, we open low, right? Traded lower and then traded higher. You see, this is the 18. So the 18, 2 days before this is the 18 here. We open like after we open here, traded a bit lower, and then traded all the way higher. Remember, this candle in 1 hour, it's the 12:30 candle. So if we go here, around 12:30 candle is this big candle here. You see, so the pop here, and then the price gave back, but the advanced and decliners did not. Or sorry, the volume did not. Okay. So this is market internals. it really helps. It really helps. Oops, the charts flexible. Let me remove this. So this is a way to use market internal. So I wait for the open to get, hey, give me the direction. Is it money coming into the market or is the money going outside of the market? Market internals. So that's the volume, right? And then we have a specifically for New York Stock Exchange and for Nasdaq. Then we have advance minus decliners. Here is similar. If the stocks are going higher, it keeps advancing. It prints equal weighted, right? This is not market cap weighted. And then ticks. How many ticks are we getting? Positive ticks or negative ticks? This normally moves between 1,000 and minus 1,000. So if we load more data here, say 10 days, you can see this day this was the 20th, open very strong for the gap and then sell off. And the sell off continue, but look, the ticks started reversing, right? This is why it's not the holy grail, the combination of these three indicators. But it gives me something I had been using for 20 years, 2005, yeah, about 20 years. And then we have here the bubbles of how sectors are from the open. So this resets at the open, and it's about 15 minutes to the open. Let's go to individual stocks, go 3 time frames. Let's start with the futures, right? The euro, gap higher, trading, got higher, 116. A stronger euro, I thought it would not do this. I want the euro to get weaker. But it's a 116. The forecast for many banks are saying, hey, this is going to get to 120, 125. Other banks are saying, hey, around 115, we are okay. And there are just a few saying, hey, 110 is possible for the next 6 months. So this is all of that talking about 6 months. Bitcoin is back to 86. Remember, we had 3 boxes here that I printed saying, hey, we are inside of these boxes. This is 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. We were here last time. Now we're here inside of this box. Fine. Going to 106 is as long a stretch given the bearish weakness. Crude, and this is relevant. A gap. It traded higher to about 59 and then went back to 60, and now it went back to 59. Okay. As you can see, this is the trend line here. I said, hey, if we are below this, we stay looking for shorts. If we are above, we're still looking for longs. So far for today, neutral. This is the main I want to talk about. Is the euro. The S&P 500. We are trading at 68.20. Right. So let me open this. This should be. We have these 3 time frames, 15, 15, and 5. So we closed the month strong. Overnight we gave back almost to 12:30. This is New York Times, right? Then traded high to trace it lower. Low was not taken. Now we are going to see the entire inflow of stocks today for the beginning of the month, and below last week Friday's level and Thursday, which was a holiday. The first thing I'm thinking, hey, let's go consolidate this, the overnight high. If we don't consolidate that, we'll trade lower. If we do, we can target slowly the overnight high. If we don't make overnight high today at the open, first stop, let me change it to red, is this low, where it could bounce and trade higher. This is a proper entry. They can take a look. If not, is the overnight low, which is just a bit lower for a bounce. After this bounce, with the market internal negative, if there is the market internal negative, there is one way only to go. Low. Where? So we go to this, where I said here, bears should show up, right? This is this low here that they did not last week, right? Maybe they show up now and take it to this area here, 67.40. That's the first thing I would think of today with negative internals. If the internals are positive, they take overnight high and then go. So far, we don't have the data. I cannot give you my view. Gold. Wow, gold will gap up, traded higher, 43,000. So you can see how we had the boxes here. Let me change this. It's 1 year. No, it's too much. 6 months. And then save. I'm not sure how that happened, but we have the 3 boxes. It just went high, and we can remove this trade now. It has worked. 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio potential for shorts, right in that level. He gave up today, but remove this drawing. Remove this drawing. Remove this drawing. Silver was stronger, all-time highs. This is much, much stronger. There's the 28 was a spectacular day for silver. That song, it brings a smile. Can you hear it? I guess you can hear it like that, right? What else do we have here? NQ. So let's do the NQ. So the NQ price action will be similar to the S&P 500. The key here is note which one is stronger, the NQ or the ES, and play accordingly. As of now, in the last 5 days, NQ is stronger than the ES. Right? You see here the 3 versus the 2. And in the downside, the NQ is a little lower than the ES. Not much, but just a little bit. The idea, so if we take overnight high, consolidate, go for a run with the strong market internals. If we go to target this area here, 25, 200, it's the same area we said, hey, bears can take off, right? First will be a fail, push, looking for a high. If we don't get that, hey, we need to think automatically bears can show up. It's not great to do in the first day of the month, but it can happen, right? So go here and then press to where? To this area here, 25. That was this area here, right? That's the area I will be targeting if there is a downside pressure. So 25, 200 and a break to 25.00. 200 points is not a lot. It can be done in a matter of an hour. I mean, it can be done much faster, but an hour it would be good enough too. So 23 minutes to go. I'm going to stop here. I have some things. I will keep the recording. I will keep the live stream going. And let me erase. What else? Russell Silver. Oh, VIX. So this is what we said. Hey, he's trading around 18. If we don't trade around 20, 25, 20, first 20, this is not going to go anywhere. So Apple is not weak. AMD is not weak. Amazon is not weak. Broadcom was very strong. And overnight is a little weaker. CMG. Okay. Google was very strong for the last few days, going lower. The price action you see is not positive, it's not negative. We'll see. Meta flattish. Microsoft is going to cap down, and let's see. I don't have a view. For the market to really go, Nvidia needs to go. Oracle in a range. Palantir. A strong daily price action. Overnight not mixed. So this mixed overnight. QQQ we see Russell very strong. S&P overnight not there, but S&P cash very strong. You can see. This is why I say, hey, this is not bears in control, right? We'll see how it opens and then we decide. Tesla, inside of these two boxes I placed for the trade, 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Flat, right? Flat. You can trade lower to 420 and then cap, accelerate lower. So let me go to the trading terminal. You can see here. We're chatting. So the idea is, what is this? Oh, this screen and this. The idea is wait for the market internal, see how advanced and decliners are doing, and later get into position where we can risk something for the accounts. Looking to make $1,000 before we lose $1,000. Okay, I will be right back. At the open, I will connect and send the market internals.
swaying left and right. I saw the river, rich aromas drift up to my face, and now I'm thinking, am I gonna stay awake today? I just need some coffee in the morning, sugar for tea, 'cause I can feel my eyelids falling, trying to sleep. But if I take a sip of caffeine, surely I'll be awake.
So now we have the market open for a while. We still have negative volume entering in New York Stock Exchange and Nasdaq. The market had failed to take quickly the overnight low. Right? The sectors here, they are mixed. You can hear from the open we have infotech positive and financial positive, but the rest, consumer discretionary and consumer services positive, materials and real estate positive. But nothing significantly strong. If we go to specific stocks, let me show you. And here we can give you also a nice picture. So this is in the same order: Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Amazon on the top. And in the bottom we have Broadcom, Meta, Google, and Tesla. And a few of them, especially the ones that are only positive, is only Nvidia and Amazon. The rest are negative. A gap down of Broadcom. Tesla is positive, but you can see most of these are neutral now, except Nvidia it is down, and is down because of the important down pressure. If we go to the Ninja Trader charts, we can see that from 9:30 to now, we have been trading higher in NQ. But we're still below Friday's level still. Holding, it seems like a bull flag, but nothing super strong. If you want to see any charts or anything, we can review.
Out of all the countless roads that I could choose, thank the stars I chose the one that led to you. Bring the unexplored, the reckless, and the new, 'cause nothing scares me anymore. How the sun lights up the moon, wax or wane, I know I'll see you soon. Ooh, I do. Tonight I fly away with you and leave the land behind.